The Zarkonian Empire's grip on the galaxy was absolute. For millennia, their war fleets had crushed all opposition, their technology unmatched, their hunger for conquest insatiable. Species after species fell before their might. Worlds were stripped bare, and entire civilizations were erased from existence. Admiral Vrakthar stood on the bridge of the Worldbreaker, his flagship, gazing out at the star-studded void. His elongated, gray-skinned fingers tapped rhythmically on the command console. "Status report," he growled, his multifaceted eyes glinting with anticipation. "My lord," Lieutenant Xindra replied, her voice quivering. "We've detected an anomaly in Sector 87 Beta. It's a planet we've never encountered before." Vrakthar's head snapped towards her. "Impossible. We've mapped every system in this quadrant." "The data is irrefutable, sir," Xindra insisted, her tentacles writhing nervously. "It appears to have been hidden somehow." A low, menacing chuckle escaped Vrakthar's throat. Well, it seems the galaxy still holds surprises. Set course for this mystery world. Let's see what secrets it's been keeping from us." As the Worldbreaker altered its trajectory, whispers spread through the lower decks. Zwylon, a young technician, huddled with his colleagues in the mess hall. "Do you think it could be them?" he asked, his voice barely above a whisper. Kalira, the ship's xenobiologist, scoffed. "The Terrans? Don't be ridiculous. They're nothing but a myth, a bedtime story to scare hatchlings." "But the legends Zwylon began, only to be cut off by Kalira's dismissive wave. "Are just that, legends. No species could possibly stand against the might of the Zarkonian Empire. Remember what happened to the Etheri, the Kaerlath? Annihilated, down to the last infant." Zwylon shuddered, remembering the horrific footage of those campaigns. Yet, a small part of him couldn't help but hope. The Terrans were said to be different, unpredictable, capable of feats that defied logic and reason. Days passed as the Worldbreaker traversed the vast emptiness of space. The crew grew restless, the air thick with tension and anticipation. Finally, after what seemed like an eternity, they arrived. "By the void," Vrakthar whispered, his usual bravado momentarily shaken. Before them hung a blue and green jewel, swathed in wisps of white clouds. It was beautiful, pristine, untouched by the ravages of interstellar warfare. "Life signs?" the Admiral demanded, regaining his composure. Xindra's fingers danced over her console. "Detecting billions of life forms, sir. But they're in some kind of stasis. Cryogenic pods, spread across the entire planet." Vrakthar's eyes narrowed. "A sleeping world. How convenient. Prepare the invasion force. We'll strip this planet bare before its inhabitants even know what hit them." As the Zarkonian war machine sprang into action, alarms began blaring throughout the ship. "Sir," Xindra cried out, her voice filled with panic. "The stasis pods, they're activating. On the planet's surface, in underground bunkers and hidden facilities, millions of cryogenic chambers hissed open. Eyes that had been closed for centuries snapped open, filled with determination and a fire that had not dimmed despite their long slumber. Among them was Commander Astra Novak, her piercing gaze taking in the readouts on her pod's display. "Status report," she barked, her voice hoarse from disuse, but still carrying the unmistakable tone of command. "Multiple alien vessels in orbit, Commander," replied the AI, its voice calm and collected. "Invasion force deploying. Threat level, extreme." Astra's lips curled into a grim smile. "Well then," she said, reaching for her gear, "let's give our uninvited guests a proper human welcome." As the first Zarkonian dropships breached the atmosphere, they had no idea that their reign of terror was about to meet its match. The slumbering giants of Earth were awake, and they were ready for war. Little did the invaders know, humanity had spent their long sleep preparing, evolving, becoming something far more formidable than the galaxy could have ever imagined. The Zarkonians thought they were descending upon easy prey, but they were about to learn a harsh lesson. Never underestimate the tenacity, the ingenuity, and the sheer, unstoppable will of the human race. As the first shots were fired and the ground shook with the impact of alien weaponry, a primal roar echoed across the planet. Humanity had awoken, and the galaxy would never be the same again. The Zarkonian dropships pierced Earth's atmosphere, their hulls glowing red-hot from the friction. Admiral Vrokthar watched from orbit, his mandibles clicking in anticipation. At last, he hissed, "Another world to add to our glorious empire." On the ground, Commander Astra Novak emerged from her underground bunker, squinting at the alien ships descending from the sky. "All right, people," she barked into her comm. "This is not a drill. Operation Lazarus is now in effect. Let's show these cosmic bullies what happens when you wake a sleeping giant." The first Zarkonian troops to touch down were led by Captain ZYX Vale, a decorated veteran of 100 conquered worlds. "Spread out and secure the area," he ordered, his gravelly voice filled with confidence. "Remember, these primitives have been sleeping for centuries. They'll be disoriented, weak, easy pickings." Oh, how wrong he was. As ZYX Vale's squad moved through a seemingly abandoned city, they were oblivious to the eyes watching them from hidden bunkers and reinforced structures. Suddenly, the ground beneath their feet trembled. "What in the name of ZYX Vale?" began, but his words were cut short as massive panels in the street slid open, revealing a network of underground tunnels and advanced weaponry. "Surprise, motherfuckers!" The battle cry echoed through the air as human soldiers, clad in powered exoskeletons, erupted from the hidden entrances. Leading the charge was Major Raiden Stormborn, his eyes blazing with a mix of fury and excitement. The Zarkonians, caught completely off guard, scrambled for cover. Their energy weapons flashed, but the humans' armor seemed to absorb the blasts, barely slowing them down. "Impossible!" ZYX Vale shouted, firing frantically. "Their technology, it's advanced. How can this be?" Raiden's laughter boomed through his suit's speakers as he effortlessly lifted a crashed alien vehicle and hurled it at the invaders. "What's wrong, big guy? Not used to a fair fight?" Back on the Worldbreaker, Admiral Vrokthar watched in growing horror as more and more of his ground forces went dark. "This can't be happening," he snarled, slamming his fist on the command console. "They're supposed to be primitive, helpless." Lieutenant Xandiare's tentacles writhed nervously as she analyzed the incoming data. "Sir, I'm detecting energy signatures unlike anything we've ever encountered. It seems the humans have been busy during their long sleep." Meanwhile, in a hidden command center deep beneath the Earth's surface, Dr. Zara Quantum, the brilliant mind behind humanity's technological leap, monitored the battle with grim satisfaction. "Cyber Division," she called out, her fingers dancing over holographic interfaces. "Initiate Protocol Ghost in the machine." Across the globe, human AIs that had been lying dormant for centuries sprang to life. They infiltrated the Zarkonian systems with terrifying speed and efficiency, wreaking havoc on their communications and weapon systems. On board the Worldbreaker, chaos erupted as screens flickered and controls went haywire. "We're being hacked," Xandiare cried out in disbelief. But that's never happened before." Vroktar's face contorted with rage. "Impossible. No species has ever breached our defenses." A face materialized on the main view screen. Dr. Quantum, her eyes gleaming with a mix of triumph and cold fury. "Welcome to Earth, you cosmic cockroaches. I hope you enjoyed your little invasion, because it's about to become a master class in why you should have left us the hell alone." As the Zarkonian fleet struggled against this unseen enemy, more surprises awaited them on the ground. In the heartland of what was once known as America, Sergeant Elena Thunderbolt Volkov led a squad of mechs, each standing over 30 feet tall, against the alien ground forces. "Remember your training, Skyfall Squad." Elena's voice crackled through the comm. "These alien bastards think size matters? Let's show them what Earth-grown steel can do." The mechs moved with a grace that belied their massive size, their weapon systems a perfect blend of brute force and pinpoint accuracy. Zarkonian tanks and aircraft, once the terror of countless worlds, were swatted from the sky and crushed underfoot like toys. In orbit, the human response continued to escalate. Hidden defense platforms, disguised as asteroids and space debris, suddenly came to life. They unleashed a barrage of weaponry that the Zarkonians had never encountered: gravity weapons that warped space itself, plasma cannons that ignored shields, and swarms of nanobots that ate through hull plating like acid. Admiral Vrokthar, for the first time in his long and bloody career, felt a chill of fear run down his spine. This isn't possible," he muttered, watching as his mighty fleet was decimated by an enemy they had grossly underestimated. "What are these humans?" As if in answer, a new transmission cut through the chaos. Commander Astra Novak's face appeared on screens across the Zarkonian fleet, her eyes burning with a fierce determination. "Listen up, you galactic bullies. You came here thinking you'd find an easy conquest. Instead, you woke up the biggest, baddest dogs in the cosmic neighborhood. We are humanity. We've spent centuries preparing for this day, evolving, innovating, and now we're ready to kick some alien ass." The message was clear. The age of Zarkonian terror was over. A new power had awakened, and the galaxy would never be the same again. As the battle raged on, both on Earth and in space, one thing became crystal clear. Humanity was not just fighting back, they were winning. And they were about to take the fight to the stars. As the battle for Earth raged on, deep within the planet's core, something ancient and terrifying stirred. The Zarkonian invasion had unknowingly triggered a failsafe mechanism, awakening humanity's ultimate weapon, Project Prometheus. Dr. Lyra Starforge, the last of the original Cryo sleepers to awaken, rushed through the subterranean facility, her heart pounding. "Computer, status report on Prometheus," she shouted, her voice echoing off the metallic walls. "Project Prometheus at 89% activation, Dr. Starforge," the AI responded coolly. "Estimated time to full power, 17 minutes. Lyra's eyes widened. No. It's too soon. We haven't tested the neural interface." Meanwhile, on the surface, Commander Astra Novak led a daring assault on a Zarkonian command post. As she ducked behind the wreckage of an alien tank, her calm crackled to life. "Astra, it's Lyra. We have a situation. Kind of busy here, Lyra." Astra grunted, firing her pulse rifle at an approaching enemy squad. What could possibly be more urgent than the alien invasion? "Prometheus is waking up," Lyra's voice was tight with tension. "If we don't find a suitable pilot in the next 15 minutes, we might lose control of it entirely." Astra felt her blood run cold. Prometheus, the culmination of centuries of human ingenuity and desperation. A weapon so powerful, it could reshape the very fabric of reality. And now it was about to wake up, without a human mind to guide it. "Fuck," Astra swore, her mind racing. "All right, I'm on my way. Hold it together, Lyra." As Astra fought her way back to the underground complex, the battle in orbit took an unexpected turn. Admiral Vrokthar, desperate to turn the tide, ordered the deployment of the Zarkonians' most devastating weapon, the planet cracker. "Sir," Lieutenant Xiandra protested, her tentacles writhing in distress, "using the planet cracker will destroy all life on the surface, including our own troops." Vroktar's eyes blazed with madness. "Better to obliterate this world than let it fall into enemy hands. Fire the planet cracker." The massive weapon began to charge, its energy readings off the charts. On Earth, sensors blared in warning, and Dr. Zara Quantum's face paled as she realized what was happening. "They're going to destroy the entire planet," she shouted into her comm. "All units, focus fire on that monstrosity." But even as Earth's defenses turned their attention to this new threat, it seemed hopeless. The planet cracker was simply too powerful, too well shielded. In mere minutes, it would unleash enough energy to shatter the planet's crust. Deep underground, Astra finally reached the Prometheus chamber. Lyra met her at the entrance, her face a mask of fear and determination. "Astra, you're the only one with the neural compatibility to pilot Prometheus. But I have to warn you, the mental strain could kill you." Astra's jaw set in a hard line. "If I don't do this, we all die. Let's do it." As Astra was strapped into the pilot's seat, surrounded by a dizzying array of bioneural interfaces, She felt a moment of doubt. What if she wasn't strong enough? What if? Her thoughts were interrupted by a searing pain as the neural link activated. Astra screamed, her body arching in agony as her mind merged with the vast, alien consciousness of Prometheus. In orbit, the planet Cracker reached full charge. Admiral Vrocthar's finger hovered over the firing control, a twisted smile on his face. "Goodbye, Earth," he sneered. But before he could activate the weapon, space itself seemed to twist and warp. A massive form phased into existence between the planet Cracker and Earth. Prometheus had arrived. It was like nothing the galaxy had ever seen. Part machine, part energy construct, part living being. Its form shifted and flowed, defying the laws of physics. At its core sat Astra, her mind now expanded beyond human comprehension, seeing reality in ways no organic being ever had. "Holy shit," Dr. Quantum breathed, watching the readouts from Earth. She did it. She actually merged with Prometheus. The Zarkonian fleet opened fire on this new threat, but their weapons might as well have been water pistols for all the effect they had. Prometheus/Astra raised a hand, and reality bent to their will. The planet Cracker crumpled like tissue paper, its fearsome energy dissipating harmlessly into space. Admiral Vrocthar's eyes bulged in disbelief. What are you?" he screamed over the comms. Astra's voice, layered with otherworldly harmonics, resonated through every ship and comm device in the system. "We are humanity's past and future. We are the guardians you so foolishly awakened. And you? You are nothing." With a gesture, Prometheus/Astra opened a portal in space, a swirling vortex of unimaginable power. The entire Zarkonian fleet was pulled in, ships crumpling and twisting as they vanished into the unknown. As quickly as it had begun, it was over. The invasion was defeated. Earth was safe, but at what cost? Inside Prometheus, Astra struggled to maintain her sense of self against the vast cosmic awareness flooding her mind. She had saved humanity, but in doing so, she had become something other. As Prometheus descended back to Earth, the defenders cheered. But Dr. Lyra Starforge watched with a mix of awe and terror. They had won the battle, yes, but in awakening Prometheus, in pushing the boundaries of human potential to their absolute limit, they had changed the course of galactic history forever. The reign of cosmic terror was over, but a new era, an era of humanity ascendant, had just begun. And the galaxy would tremble at what they had become. The dust had barely settled on Earth's surface when the true implications of humanity's victory began to unfold. Prometheus, with Astra's consciousness at its core, hovered above the planet's atmosphere, a silent guardian and a beacon to the stars. Dr. Lyra Starforge stood in the newly established Global Defense Headquarters, her eyes fixed on the holographic display of Prometheus. "We've opened Pandora's box," she murmured, her voice a mix of awe and trepidation. Beside her, Dr. Zara Quantum nodded grimly. "The Zarkonians were just the beginning. We've announced our presence to the galaxy in the most spectacular way possible. It's only a matter of time before dash." Her words were cut short as alarms blared throughout the facility. Major Ryden Stormborn burst into the room, his exosuit still bearing the scars of recent battle. "We've got incoming." Multiple signatures entering the solar system. On the main screen, a swarm of ships appeared, their designs as varied as they were alien. Some sleek and predatory, others bulbous and organic, each representing a different spacefaring race. The galaxy had taken notice, and they were coming to see this new power for themselves. High above, within the swirling energy matrix of Prometheus, Astra/Prometheus felt the approaching vessels. Its voice, now a chorus of harmonics, echoed through Earth's communication systems. They come, some with curiosity, others with fear, and a few with hunger in their hearts. Dr. Quantum's fingers flew over her console. "I'm detecting at least 7 distinct alien fleets. Some are broadcasting peace signals, but others, their weapon systems are primed and ready." Commander Elena Thunderbolt Volkov, now acting as Earth's military leader, stepped forward. "So much for a moment to catch our breath. All right, people, this is first contact scenarios 3 through 9. Let's show these cosmic tourists that humanity knows how to throw a welcome party. As Earth's defenses mobilized, the first of the alien fleets entered communication range. A holographic figure materialized in the center of the command room. A being of pure energy, its form constantly shifting and flowing. "Greetings, children of Earth," it spoke, its voice resonating on multiple frequencies. "I am Ambassador ZYXLAR of the Luminoth Conclave. We come seeking dialogue and understanding." Before anyone could respond, another transmission cut in. This one showed a massive, armored being, its eyes glowing with barely contained aggression. "I am Warlord KR Thak of the Vorn Imperium. Your defeat of the Zarkonians has not gone unnoticed. Submit to our rule, and we may yet spare your pitiful world." The room erupted into chaos as more transmissions flooded in. Offers of alliance, threats of annihilation, and everything in between. Humanity found itself at the center of a galactic storm, with countless races vying for their attention, their technology, and their newfound power. Dr. Starforge turned to Elena, her eyes wide. "We're not ready for this. We just woke up, for crying out loud. How are we supposed to navigate interstellar politics when we can barely keep our own planet in order?" Elena's jaw set in a determined line. "We'll do what humans have always done, document. We adapt, we improvise, and we overcome. Raiden, get our diplomatic corps up here now. Zara, I want every scrap of data we have on these species. And someone get me a line to Astra, or Prometheus, or whatever the hell she is now." As the command center buzzed with frantic activity, Prometheus descended from orbit, its massive form casting a shadow over the United Nations building in New York. Astra's voice, now tinged with cosmic power, addressed the world. "People of Earth, we stand at a crossroads. The galaxy has come knocking, and we must answer. But know this, we are not alone, and we are not weak. We have slept for centuries, preparing for this moment. Now, we must show the cosmos what humanity is truly capable of." In orbit, tensions reached a boiling point. The Vorn Imperium, impatient for Earth's submission, launched a preemptive strike against the Luminoth fleet. Within moments, the space around Earth erupted into a chaotic battle, with multiple races choosing sides or simply attacking anyone within range. "Oh, for fuck's sake," Elena growled, watching the melee unfold on the tactical display. "All right, that tears it. Prometheus, Astra, whatever you want to be called, we need you to send a message. Show these trigger-happy morons what happens when you mess with humanity's front yard." Prometheus rose into orbit, its form growing and shifting until it dwarfed even the largest alien dreadnoughts. With a pulse of energy that rippled through space-time itself, every ship in the battle found itself frozen in place, weapons disabled, engines cold. Astra's voice, now tinged with both amusement and cosmic authority, boomed across every communication channel in 1,000 light-years. "Children of the cosmos, hear me. You stand in the realm of humanity, a race you have grossly underestimated. We have no desire for conflict, but make no mistake, we will not tolerate aggression in our space. You have one standard cycle to withdraw and send proper diplomatic envoys. Those who remain to fight will face consequences." As if to emphasize the point, a Vorn battlecruiser that tried to break free of the stasis field simply vanished, as if it had never existed. In the stunned silence that followed, Dr. Starforge couldn't help but let out a low whistle. "Well," she said, a hint of a smile playing on her lips, "I guess that's one way to start interstellar relations. Think they'll RSVP to our welcome party?" As the alien fleets began to withdraw, some in awe, others in terror, humanity stood on the precipice of a new era. They had announced their presence to the galaxy in no uncertain terms. The age of cosmic terror was over, but the age of human ascendancy had just begun, and the universe would never be the same again. In the weeks following the chaotic first contact, Earth had become a hub of frenzied activity. The United Nations building in New York, now dwarfed by the looming presence of Prometheus, had been transformed into the galactic embassy of humanity. Inside, Dr. Lyra Starforge massaged her temples, fighting off yet another stress-induced headache. "Remind me again why I didn't stay in cryosleep," she muttered to no one in particular. Major Raiden Stormborn, now serving as head of security for the embassy, chuckled darkly. Because, Doc, the universe decided to make things interesting. Their banter was interrupted by the arrival of Ambassador Zyxlar of the Luminoth Conclave, his energy form pulsating with what seemed to be excitement. Esteemed humans, he began, his voice a symphony of harmonics. We bring news from the galactic core. Before he could continue, alarms blared throughout the facility. Dr. Zara Quantum's voice crackled over the comms, tension evident in her tone. We've got a situation. Multiple wormholes opening at the edge of the solar system. It's the Zarkonian remnant. What? Raiden's fist slammed down on the conference table. I thought Prometheus/Astra sent those bastards packing to who knows where. Zyxlar's form flickered anxiously. It seems the Zarkonians had contingency fleets hidden throughout the galaxy. They've rallied under a new leader, one who calls himself the Void Herald. They seek vengeance against humanity for their defeat. Outside, Prometheus rose from its resting place, Astra's voice booming across the planet. The enemy returns, but we are ready. We are Legion. We are humanity. As if in response to her call, the ground began to shake. Across the globe, hidden bunkers and underground facilities burst open. Massive mechs, each piloted by a freshly awakened cryosleeper, emerged by the thousands. The sky darkened as swarms of advanced fighter craft took to the air, their designs a perfect blend of human ingenuity and alien technology reverse-engineered from the previous battle. Commander Elena, Thunderbolt, Volkov's voice crackled over the global defense network. This is not a drill, people. Operation Steel Phoenix is go. Show these alien bastards what happens when you mess with Earth. Twice. In orbit, the first wave of Zarkonian ships emerged from their wormholes, only to be met by Earth's newly established orbital defense grid. Massive ion cannons, powered by technology that put their previous weapons to shame, opened fire. Zarkonian ships exploded in silent bursts of light and debris. But the Void Herald was not so easily deterred. His flagship, a monstrosity that seemed to devour light itself, pushed through the defensive barrage. His voice, cold and filled with malice, echoed across all frequencies. Humans, your tricks and borrowed power cannot save you. We are the scourge of 1,000 worlds, the end of countless civilizations. You are but children playing with forces beyond your comprehension. Astra/Prometheus rose to meet the challenge, its form shifting and growing until it rivaled the size of the Void Herald's flagship. You speak of forces beyond comprehension? Her voice thundered, shaking the very fabric of space-time. Then allow us to educate you. What followed was a battle that defied description. Prometheus and the Void Herald ship clashed in a display of power that made the previous conflict look like a mere skirmish. Reality itself seemed to bend and warp around them as they grappled. On Earth's surface and in the space around it, humanity's forces engaged the Zarkonian fleet. But this was not the same humanity that had been caught off guard in their sleep. This was humanity unleashed, fighting with centuries of pent-up aggression and newfound power. Dr. Starforge and Dr. Quantum coordinated from the command center, their minds working in perfect sync as they directed Earth's defenses. Raiden led a squadron of elite mech pilots, their machines dancing through the debris of destroyed Zarkonian ships with impossible grace. Ambassador Zyxlar, watching the battle unfold, whispered in awe, "By the cosmic flame, I've never seen such ferocity, such unity of purpose." As the battle raged on, it became clear that this was more than just a fight for survival. This was humanity's statement to the galaxy, a declaration that they were here to stay, and that they would defend their home with every fiber of their being. The Void Herald's forces, despite their numbers and their leaders' fearsome power, found themselves overwhelmed. Humanity's weapons, a blend of their own innovation and reverse-engineered alien tech, cut through their defenses like they were made of paper. In orbit, Prometheus/Astra finally gained the upper hand against the Void Herald's flagship. With a gesture that seemed to tear a hole in the universe itself, Astra's voice rang out, "Enough! You sought to bring terror to our world. Instead, You will become a lesson for all who would threaten humanity." With a final, cataclysmic surge of energy, Prometheus engulfed the Void Herald's ship. For a moment, it seemed as if a new sun had been born in Earth's orbit. When the light faded, the Zarkonian flagship was gone, along with a significant portion of their fleet. The remaining Zarkonian ships, leaderless and outmatched, began to retreat in disarray. Humanity had won. Again. As the cheers of victory erupted across the planet, Dr. Starforge turned to Ambassador Zoaxlar, a weary but triumphant smile on her face. "So, Ambassador, about that news from the Galactic Core?" Zoaxlar's energy form pulsed with what could only be described as nervous excitement. "Ah, yes. It seems that in light of recent events, the Galactic Council has, well, they've decided to extend an invitation to humanity. They wish for Earth to take its place among the stars." The room fell silent as the implications sank in. Humanity, barely awake from its long slumber, had not only defended itself against the galaxy's greatest terror, but had also earned a seat at the cosmic table. Commander Volkov, her exosuit still smoking from battle, let out a low whistle. "Well, folks, looks like our welcome party just turned into a coronation. The galaxy won't know what hit him." As Prometheus descended back to Earth, carrying the essence of Astra and the hopes of humanity, one thing was clear. The age of human isolation was over. The stars were calling, and humanity was ready to answer. The galaxy would never be the same again, and neither would Earth. The real adventure was just beginning. The invitation to join the Galactic Council had sent shockwaves through Earth's newly established global government. In the span of mere months, humanity had gone from a sleeping species to a major galactic player. The implications were staggering. At the heart of this whirlwind stood Dr. Lyra Starforge, now appointed as Earth's chief xenobiologist and diplomat. She gazed out the window of the newly constructed space elevator, watching as Earth shrank beneath her. "Having second thoughts, Doc?" Major Raiden Stormborn's gruff voice broke through her reverie. He stood beside her, his exosuit gleaming with recent upgrades. Lyra shook her head, a wry smile on her face. "Just wondering if we're moving too fast. We've barely had time to process our own awakening, let alone our place in the galaxy." Their conversation was interrupted by a holographic projection of Dr. Zara Quantum. "Heads up, folks. We're approaching the Galactic Council's mobile starbase. And, holy shit, you need to see this." As the space elevator pod docked with the massive, city-sized space station, the Earth delegation got their first real look at the diversity of galactic life. Beings of all shapes, sizes, and compositions moved through the station's corridors. Some were vaguely humanoid, others defied description entirely. Ambassador Zoaxlar of the Luminoth Conclave greeted them, his energy form pulsing with excitement. "Welcome, children of Earth. The Council awaits. But first, a word of warning." Before he could finish, a commotion erupted nearby. A group of towering, crystalline beings were in a heated argument with what appeared to be sentient clouds of gas. "The humans cannot be trusted," one of the crystal beings boomed, its voice resonating through the station. "They possess the Prometheus entity. They are too dangerous." Raiden's hand instinctively went to his weapon, but Lyra placed a calming hand on his arm. "Easy, Major. We're here as diplomats, remember?" Zoaxlar's form flickered anxiously. "You see, esteemed humans, your rapid ascension has caused quite a stir. Many council races fear your potential. The power you've displayed, it's unprecedented." As if on cue, a ripple of energy passed through the station. Prometheus had arrived, with Astra's consciousness at its core. Its massive form dwarfed even the starbase, casting a shadow over the assembled alien races. Astra's voice, now a harmonious blend of human and cosmic, resonated through the station. "We come in peace, yet we stand ready. Humanity seeks understanding, not dominance. But we will not be cowed by fear or ignorance." The effect was immediate. Some aliens cowered, others stood in awe, and a few seemed ready to attack on the spot. Lyra stepped forward, her voice calm but carrying an undercurrent of steel. "We understand your concerns. Humanity's awakening has been dramatic, but we're here to learn, to share, and to find our place among the stars." We've slept for centuries, evolving, preparing, not for conquest, but for this moment. She gestured to the diverse array of beings around them. Look at us. In our brief time awake, we've already begun to adapt, to understand. Major Stormborn here? His exosuit interfaces directly with his nervous system, allowing him to sense and react as if the suit were his own body. Dr. Quantum? She's developed a way to communicate with quantum entangled particles across vast distances. And me? I can already identify at least 17 distinct species in this room alone, thanks to the neural enhancements we developed during our long sleep. The crystalline being who had spoken earlier stepped forward, its facets glinting menacingly. Pretty words, human, but actions speak louder. Your Prometheus entity could destroy us all with a thought. Suddenly, the air shimmered, and Astra appeared before them in human form, though her eyes glowed with cosmic energy. Then perhaps it's time for a demonstration of what humanity truly seeks. With a gesture, Astra created a swirling vortex of energy in the center of the room. Within it, images flashed by rapidly. Earth's history, its triumphs and failures, its art and music, its dreams and fears. This is humanity. Astra's voice resonated, filled with emotion. Flawed, yes. Capable of great destruction, certainly. But also capable of boundless creativity, of empathy, of love. We've fought our demons, faced our darkest hours, and we've emerged, not as conquerors, but as explorers. The vortex expanded, now showing glimpses of possible futures. Humans working alongside aliens to terraform barren worlds, joint scientific expeditions unlocking the secrets of the universe, a galactic civilization thriving in harmony. We don't seek to rule the galaxy, Lyra continued, her voice strong. We seek to enrich it, to learn from you, to share with you, to grow alongside you. A hush fell over the assembled aliens. Even the most skeptical among them seemed moved by the display. The leader of the gaseous beings floated forward, its voice a whisper of wind. Perhaps we have judged too hastily. The humans show wisdom beyond their years. Ambassador ZYXLR's form pulsed with approval. Indeed, the Council must reconsider its stance. Humanity has proven itself worthy of a seat at our table. As the tension in the room dissipated, replaced by a cautious optimism, Raiden leaned in close to Lyra. Nice speech. Document think it'll be enough? Lyra watched as aliens of all kinds began to approach them, curiosity replacing fear in their eyes. It's a start, Major. A damn good start. In orbit around the station, Prometheus remained vigilant, a silent guardian and a symbol of humanity's newfound power. But now, it was also a beacon of hope, a promise of a future where humanity's potential could be fully realized among the stars. As the Earth delegation prepared to enter the council chambers, one thing was clear. The galaxy had underestimated humanity. They had expected savages, barely awake from their long sleep. Instead, they found a species ready to take its place in the cosmic order, armed not just with advanced technology, but with the uniquely human traits of adaptability, creativity, and an indomitable spirit. The revelation of human potential had begun, and the galaxy would never be the same again. The Galactic Council chambers buzzed with an energy unlike anything seen in millennia. At the center of it all stood the Earth delegation, their presence a stark reminder of how quickly the cosmic balance had shifted. Dr. Lyra Starforge, her eyes gleaming with a mix of excitement and determination, addressed the assembled alien races. Esteemed members of the Council, we stand before you not just as representatives of Earth, but as harbingers of a new era of galactic cooperation. Her words were met with a cacophony of reactions, murmurs of approval, hisses of skepticism, and everything in between. But before the discussion could progress, alarms blared throughout the station. Intruder alert! Security breach in Sector 7. The automated voice echoed, sending the chamber into chaos. Major Raiden Stormborn was in motion before the announcement finished, his exosuit humming to life. So much for diplomacy, he growled, weapon systems priming. Suddenly, the far wall of the chamber exploded inward. Through the debris stepped a figure that sent chills down the spines of even the most hardened council members. The Void Herald had returned, his form now a twisted amalgamation of Zarkonian biology and Eldritch technology. "Did you think you could escape me so easily?" His voice boomed, reality itself seeming to warp around him. "I have tasted the power of Prometheus, and I will not rest until it is mine." Chaos erupted as council members fled or tried to mount a defense, but their weapons seemed to pass harmlessly through the Void Herald's shifting form. Lyra's mind raced, analyzing the situation. Raiden, that's not just Zarkonian tech. He's tapped into something older, something from beyond known space. Raiden didn't waste time with words. He charged forward, his exosuit's energy blade clashing against the Void Herald's otherworldly defenses in a shower of sparks and eldritch energy. As the battle raged, Dr. Zara Quantum's voice crackled over the comms. "Lyra, we're detecting massive energy spikes across the galaxy. The Void Herald's not alone. This is a coordinated attack." Outside the station, space itself seemed to tear open as hundreds of wormholes appeared. From them poured ships of Zarkonian design, but twisted and changed, pulsing with the same eerie energy as their leader. In orbit around Earth, Prometheus/Astra sensed the disturbance. Her voice, a symphony of human determination and cosmic power, resonated across the galaxy. "The enemy has returned, changed but not strengthened. Humanity will not stand alone. To all races who value freedom and life, join us. Let this be the day we unite against the darkness." As if in answer to her call, ships from a dozen different alien races jumped into the fray. Species that had been at each other's throats for centuries now fought side by side against the Void Herald's forces. Back in the council chamber, Lyra realized the true stakes of the battle. "Raiden, we can't let him escape. Whatever he's tapped into, it's a threat to the entire galaxy." The Major, his exosuit smoking from repeated impacts, nodded grimly. "Got any bright ideas, Doc? 'Cause I'm running out of tricks here." Lyra's eyes widened as inspiration struck. "The neural link. If we can establish a connection between you, me, and Prometheus, we might be able to channel enough power to contain him." It was a desperate plan, born of necessity and the unique adaptability of the human mind. As Raiden continued to battle the Void Herald, keeping him distracted, Lyra reached out with her mind, establishing a tentative psychic link with Prometheus. The effect was immediate and overwhelming. Cosmic awareness flooded her consciousness, threatening to drown her very sense of self. But amidst the chaos, she felt a familiar presence. Astra, her humanity a beacon in the storm of cosmic power. "Focus, Lyra." Astra's voice guided her. "Channel the energy. Shape it with your will." With a mental effort that felt like moving mountains, Lyra directed the power through her body and into Raiden's exosuit. The Major's armor began to glow, pulsing with energy that defied known physics. The Void Herald, sensing the shift in power, roared in defiance. "You cannot stop the inevitable. The galaxy will burn, and from its ashes, I will forge a new reality." Raiden, his voice strained but determined, shot back, "Sorry, pal, but humanity's got plans for this galaxy, and they don't include you." With a battle cry that shook the very foundations of the station, Raiden unleashed the channeled power of Prometheus. A beam of pure, reality-warping energy erupted from his suit, engulfing the Void Herald. For a moment that seemed to stretch into eternity, the chamber was filled with blinding light and a sound that defied description. When it faded, the Void Herald was gone, leaving behind only a scorch mark on the chamber floor and a lingering sense of cosmic dislocation. As the psychic link faded, Lyra collapsed, caught by Raiden's armored arms. Did we do it?" she gasped, her mind reeling from the experience. Before Raiden could answer, cheers erupted throughout the station. Holographic displays showed the Void Herald's forces in disarray, their ships either fleeing or self-destructing as the eldritch energy that powered them destabilized. Ambassador Zyxlar, his energy form pulsing with awe, approached the Earth delegation. "By the cosmic flame, you've done it. You've saved us all." As the reality of their victory sank in, Lyra realized that this was more than just a battle one. It was a turning point for humanity and for the galaxy as a whole. In the days that followed, Earth's status in the galactic community underwent a seismic shift. No longer were they seen as upstarts or potential threats. They were heroes, saviors of the galaxy. The Galactic Council, in a unanimous decision, not only granted humanity full membership but also entrusted them with a sacred duty. Earth would become the headquarters for a new initiative, the Cosmic Defense Force, a multi-species alliance dedicated to protecting the galaxy from threats both within and without. As Lyra stood on the observation deck of the newly constructed Earth Space Command, watching ships from 100 worlds come and go, she felt a sense of pride and purpose unlike anything she'd ever known. Quite a view, isn't it? Raiden's voice came from behind her, his tone uncharacteristically soft. Lyra nodded, a smile playing on her lips. We've come so far, so fast. Sometimes I wonder if we're ready for all this. Raiden chuckled, placing a hand on her shoulder. Ready or not, Doc, the galaxy needs us. And if there's one thing I've learned about humanity, it's that we're at our best when the stakes are highest. As if to emphasize his point, Prometheus appeared in orbit, its form a constant reminder of humanity's newfound power and responsibility. The age of human isolation was truly over. They had not only taken their place among the stars, but had become the galaxy's greatest defenders. The future was uncertain, filled with challenges and wonders beyond imagination. But one thing was clear: humanity was ready to face it head-on, with all the courage, creativity, and indomitable spirit that had defined their species since the dawn of time. The cosmic stage was set, and humanity's greatest adventure was just beginning. A decade had passed since humanity's pivotal role in defeating the Void Herald and saving the galaxy. Earth, once a sleeping giant, had become the bustling heart of the Cosmic Defense Force, CDF. The planet's orbit was now home to a massive space station, New Olympus, serving as both the CDF headquarters and a melting pot of galactic cultures. Dr. Lyra Starforge, now Admiral Starforge, stood at the command center of New Olympus, her eyes scanning holographic displays of the known universe. Each glowing dot represented a world under the CDF's protection, a testament to how far humanity had come. Admiral, a voice called out. It was Zix, a young Luminoth officer and Lyra's protege. The council is assembling for the decennial review. They're waiting for you. Lyra nodded, straightening her uniform. Time to face the music, eh? Let's hope they're in a good mood. As they walked through the station's corridors, Lyra marveled at the diversity around them. Beings from 1,000 worlds worked side by side, their differences forgotten in pursuit of a common goal. It was everything she had hoped for and more. The council chambers were a far cry from the tense, suspicious atmosphere of their first meeting. Now, representatives from every major galactic power sat in harmony, their faces, or equivalent sensory organs, turned expectantly towards Lyra as she entered. Ambassador Zoyxlar, now the council's high speaker, greeted her warmly. Admiral Starforge, welcome. We are eager to hear your report on the state of galactic security. Lyra took a deep breath and began. Esteemed members of the Council, a decade ago, we stood on the brink of annihilation. Today, I'm proud to report that the galaxy has entered an era of unprecedented peace and cooperation. She gestured to the holographic display at the center of the room, showing the vast network of CDF outposts and patrol routes. The Cosmic Defense Force has successfully neutralized 37 major threats to galactic stability, from rogue AI uprisings to attempted invasions from extra-dimensional beings. But our greatest achievement isn't measured in battles won. The display shifted, showing time-lapse images of barren worlds blooming with life, of war-torn civilizations rebuilding, of new species taking their first steps into space. It's measured in the lives we've improved, the cultures we've preserved, and the understanding we've fostered between once hostile races. Murmurs of approval rippled through the chamber, but Lyra wasn't finished. However, we face new challenges. The power vacuum left by the Zarkonians and the Void Herald has led to the rise of opportunistic factions. The Crimson Nebula Syndicate, a multi-species criminal organization, grows bolder by the day. And there are whispers of something stirring in the spaces between galaxies. The room grew quiet, tension palpable in the air. Lyra continued, her voice steady. But we are not afraid. Humanity has learned that our greatest strength lies not in our technology or our cosmic powers, but in our ability to unite, to find common ground even with those most different from us. As if on cue, a familiar energy signature appeared outside the station. Prometheus, with Astra at its core, had returned from its latest mission of cosmic exploration. Astra's voice, a harmonious blend of human warmth and cosmic wisdom, filled the chamber. We have seen the edges of creation, walked the paths between realities, and in all our journeys, we have found one truth. The power of connection, of empathy, is the greatest force in the universe. The council members sat in awe, many still not fully accustomed to the casual display of such cosmic power. Lyra seized the moment. This is what humanity brings to the galactic community. Not just our strength or our technology, but our spirit. Our unwavering belief that together, we can overcome any obstacle. She turned to address each council member in turn. The crystalline Vextari, once our fiercest critics, now lead our xenobiology division, unlocking the secrets of life itself. The gaseous Zephyrians, who once feared our potential for destruction, now work alongside us to harness the power of stars. And the silicon-based Quartz Collective, former isolationists, have become our most enthusiastic partners in exploring the unknown. Ambassador ZYXLR's form pulsed with approval. Admiral Starforge, your words ring true. The galaxy has indeed entered a new age of enlightenment, largely thanks to humanity's influence. But tell us, what of Earth itself? How has your homeworld adapted to its new role? Lyra smiled, a hint of pride in her eyes. Earth has flourished beyond our wildest dreams. Our cities now stretch into the skies and beneath the oceans. We've terraformed Mars and established colonies across our solar system. But more importantly, we've opened our arms to the galaxy. The holographic display shifted once more, showing images of Earth. Alien exchange students learned alongside human children. Interspecies families picnicked in parks beneath the shadow of massive arcologies. Artists from 100 worlds collaborated on massive, reality-warping installations. We've become a beacon of hope, a shining example of what's possible when we embrace diversity and work towards a common goal. As Lyra concluded her report, the council chamber erupted in applause. Even the most stoic of alien representatives couldn't hide their approval. High Speaker ZYXLR raised his appendages for silence. Admiral Starforge, on behalf of the Galactic Council, I thank you and all of humanity for your service. Your species has proven itself not just worthy of a place among the stars, but essential to the very fabric of our galactic society. We look forward to the next decade of progress under the CDF's guidance. As the formal proceedings concluded, Lyra found herself surrounded by well-wishers and curious council members. But her attention was drawn to a quiet figure standing at the back of the room, Major Ryden Stormborn, now graying at the temples but still every inch the warrior. Not bad, Doc, he said with a grin as she approached. You've come a long way from that wide-eyed scientist I met when we first woke up. Lyra laughed, feeling the weight of responsibility lift for a moment. We all have, Ryden. Sometimes I can hardly believe it's only been a decade. Their conversation was interrupted by an urgent communication. Dr. Zara Quantum's holographic form materialized before them, her expression a mix of excitement and concern. Lyra, Ryden, you need to see this. Our deep space probes have detected something impossible. It's as if the very fabric of space-time is unraveling at the edges of our galaxy. Lyra and Ryden exchanged glances, a familiar spark of adventure igniting in their eyes. Well, Ryden said, cracking his knuckles, looks like the galaxy's not done throwing challenges our way. Lyra nodded, a determined smile on her face. Good thing we're not done rising to meet them. Zara, alert the CDF. Looks like humanity's got another chance to prove why we belong among the stars. As alarms began to sound and the station buzzed with renewed activity, Lyra took a moment to look out at the vast expanse of space. In just 10 years, humanity had gone from a sleeping species to the guardians of the galaxy. They had faced cosmic horrors, bridged interstellar divides, and reshaped the very nature of galactic society. And now, with a new threat looming on the horizon, Lyra knew one thing for certain. Whatever challenges the universe had in store, humanity would face them head-on, with all the courage, creativity, and indomitable spirit that had defined their species since they first looked up at the stars and dared to dream. The cosmic odyssey of humanity was far from over. In fact, it was just beginning, and the galaxy would never be the same again.